be really good at my level before I go up to the next level, right? I'm not talking about being comfortable. It's not about being comfortable. At least wake up one day and go, I get it now. When you say I get it now, okay, now you're ready for the next rank. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Alex from Part-Time First Sergeant. This is another 2-minute drill. So I want to talk about the time that I declined the promotion. About a year into being an E5, the rank where I performed as expected. About 3/4 of the way through the deployment, I was sitting at the fob, and then an E8 came up to me as a master sergeant. He was like, "Hey, congratulations, Staff Sergeant." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then another NCO came up to me and was like, "Hey, Staff Sergeant, what's going on? Congratulations." And I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then they're like, "Yeah, you getting pinned today. You didn't know?" It's like, "Nope. I mean, I hadn't put in a promotion packet. I've only been an E5 at that point for barely 2 years, a year and a half that I pinned on my fives." And I'm like, "Wait a minute." So I called my platoon sergeant. I was like, "Hey, platoon daddy, what's going on, man?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "Listen, before he even said anything, I was like, listen, I can't be an E6 squad leader. Like, I barely done anything. Granted, I was a pretty high speed E5. I mean, I knew my stuff for my rank, but I just didn't have the accumulated experience, right? And what I had going for me as well is that I served as a team leader, and I also managed about 8 soldiers at one point for a portion of my deployment. So I did have that experience full time. So is it better than other E5s in the National Guard who hadn't had that experience and had about the same time and grade as I had? Maybe, maybe not. But my point was, I don't feel I should be a squad leader yet until I get more accumulated time as a team leader. And I was like, you cannot promote me. I'm not ready yet. I need more experience as a team leader. Don't steal that time away from me, right? And there's no shame. I mean, some people would say never decline a promotion. I have a different philosophy. So the Army is filled with NCOs, some good, some bad. But let me put it this way. What makes us different from officers, right? A value proposition, right? As an NCO Corps, is that we have a breadth and depth of experience accumulated over time. Officers come out of college and OBC and whatever other training they have, brand new soldier, essentially, who has never been promoted and automatically responsible for a platoon or a very important section, and then automatically gets advanced over time to O2, and then some may go to Captain Careers course as an O2 or newly promoted O3. Some go straight to command. So for 4 to 6 years, an officer goes through the equivalent of basic training, their officer version of AIT, and then gets plumped into a group of soldiers, and all of a sudden expected to perform as a leader. And that's fine, because their training is specialized for that, just that, manage groups of people and work as a staff officer, which is fine. I have, no beef with that. They have a different function. Our value proposition is that we have depth in our field, specialty in our field, and accumulated experience over time. When I say accumulated experience over time, I don't mean doing skill level 1 stuff for a bunch of years. I mean progressive experience, meaning we were a individual soldier, skill level 10. Then we became a team leader, skill level 2, and we practiced that leadership skill. We went to NCOES, and then we've been mentored by our senior, the people that were senior to us. Then we became E6s, you know, and went to another NCO ES, and we were mentored by E7s. Same thing, E6 to E7, E7 to E8, and that's where it gets a little tricky with the National Guard, because as an E8, you don't have that mentorship, that face-to-face contact mentorship. So what is the point of picking up the next rank if you haven't had that breadth and depth and experience? You haven't had that accumulated experience at the next level. What is the point? We have tons of shit against COs. We have tons of them. Do you want to be another statistics, another bag National Guard inexperienced NCO, right? And that's why I turned it down, because my squad leader was hot. My platoon sergeant, freaking tons of experience, a beast, right? So those are my mentors. It's not that I expect to be as good as them at that level, but I expect to at least be really good at my level before I go up to the next level. I'm not talking about being comfortable. It's not about being comfortable. At least wake up one day and go, I get it now. When you say I get it now, okay, now you're ready for the next rank. So what's the point? I still didn't get it. You know, I was hot, man. Like anything I had, my team members had. Anything I did, my team members did. I managed their careers. I was riding NCO ERs as an E5 to E4s, because my first round was like, you know what? You want to learn to be an NCO? You need to know how to counsel people, and you also need not only just counsel people on a regular basis. That's gonna culminate into an NCO ER, because when you're a squad leader and you're doing it for real, right, where it impacts an NCO's life as a squad leader E6, and you're doing an NCO ER for an E5, he's like, you better know what you're doing. And those are my mentors. I didn't want my team leader time to be robbed, because this is what could happen. I get promoted fast to E6, I do some cool, right? Not progressive, nothing, you know, advanced past my team leader experience, but you know, I do some cool stuff as an E6, become an E7 platoon sergeant. Now I'm responsible for 30 plus soldiers, and I still don't know my shit. I don't have a community. And then you start making bad decisions because you don't have the experience at the lower level to fully understand that job and then start learning the next job. And I've had that. I've had E9s that I'm like, what the like, what are you doing? Like, have you never experienced this before? And then looking, you know, getting a copy of that ERB and going, oh, you haven't done your platoon time. You haven't gone through the ranks in the traditional way. You spend a lot of time in sections, in headquarters, and you haven't necessarily let troops at each level an appropriate level of leadership experience in a line to fully understand why your decision is a bad decision. And that's, you know, that didn't happen until later after I denied my promotion, but that what I was fighting against. And I know senior NCOs today that I'm like, you should not be in the military at all, because if you're an E6 and below, you have time. You have time to develop yourself, understand what it means to be an NCO, which is an E5 or a corporal, and then develop yourself as an E6. You have time, right? But as an E7, E8, dude, time's up. Like, if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, fail. And the problem is with that, you don't just impact you don't just suck, you impact other soldiers' lives, other soldiers' careers. And that's when you have really good NCOs leaving the military, and you're like, damn, that was such a good NCO, that was such a good soldier. Man, it sucks that soldier ETS. Is like, well, that's why that soldier ETS, because they had bad leadership that didn't know what they were doing. And that's what I want to fight against. If you're not ready for a promotion, if you're not ready for the next rank, not if you're scared of the next rank. That's not what I mean. If you don't feel like you have had the experience that takes for you to be a good leader, that's just my personal opinion, say no. because there's no glory in being a shitty NCO. It's like, oh, you'll learn on the job. It's like, no, first learn your job now, and then go ahead and try to learn the next job, right? When you get promoted, you get promoted on potential of being good at the next rank. Well, if you're not good at the current rank, then there's no chance. Like, you have proven zero on whether or not you'd be good at the next rank because you haven't proven at the current rank. There is no shame in saying no to a promotion. Zero shame. Do not put a packet in. You know, make sure on the counseling you're declining your promotion. That way it doesn't look bad on your records, because if your command declines you for promotion, then it looks bad. It's on your records, and it looks bad for years to come because they will evaluate your full record. Now, if you know, just decline it, that's fine. You know, that's honorable. That's like, listen, I'm declining my promotion, but this is what I want to do over the next 12 months. And make sure that you're taking positions of increased responsibility. So pass that level 10 task. Level 10 is for individual soldier, right? And matter of fact, senior specialists should be looking at level 2 tasks, right? 20 tasks. That's what you should be looking at. So ask yourself, why do I want to be an NCO? Why do I want to get promoted? If you're on a board, if you're ever on a board, you're gonna have to articulate that, right? Start with why. This is a great book, as a matter of fact, by I forget the name of the author right now, but he wrote a book called Start With Why. It's a business book about, you know, the core competencies of a business, but he can take, and that's transferable to the military and at the NCO rank. Why do you want to be an NCO? What is your purpose? That's number one. Number two, did I master, or am I good enough at the current rank to have the foundation to excel at the next rank, regardless of what rank that is? E1 through E4, that's automatic advancement. That's not a promotion. So if you don't know that, you need to watch my my video on 5 ways to get promoted fast. Right? I'm all about getting promoted fast. If you had accumulation of experience, increased responsibility, and you've done well at the current rank where you fully understand what your job is, then by all means, go ahead, you know, put your packet in, accept a promotion, go to the next grade, and try to excel at that for a couple to 3 years, and, you know, master that and then move on. I'm not against promoting fast. I promoted fast. That is perfectly fine. My point is, if you're not ready, if you don't have the skill set to perform well at the current rank, do not. There's no shame in declining a promotion. I declined that E6 promotion, and less than a year later, I was off that E6 promotion again, and I felt more comfortable, right? Because at that point, I spent a year in the rear as a National Guard, a year deployed, and another about 6 months after deployment, you know, going through all that stuff, and I got offered promotion again, and there was no shame. So that's all I'm saying, guys. There's no shame at all. If you're not ready for that rank, not because you're scared, but because you just haven't mastered your current rank, then there's no shame in saying no to the next rank. All right, thank you very much for listening to my 2-minute drill. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.